guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. If you're new to Market Marauders, investment channel, helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, hit that thumbs up. Now, as you all know, it's earnings season, so a lot of earnings came out today, but we're going to go over three of them, three that I had on my watch list, my community tab. So let's jump into it. So for the first one, we got ticker sign CHGG for Chegg. Uh, Look at the moving average 10 was 86.42, moving average 50 is 79.63, moving average 100 is 76.71, and it ended the day at 85.93. So it had a little bullish breakout before earnings, where the moving average 10 line went above the moving average 50 and the moving average 100 line to show the bullish trend. Towards the end of the day, looks like it tried to have a little bit of a sell-off, but still ended above both those metrics. So pretty good deal on that one. It ended below its moving average 10. The price did, but the moving average 10 line is still above the moving average 50 and the moving average 100. So I'm going to say it's still bullish, especially considering the VWAP 14 line, which just shows volume. So, you know, I would say it's still bullish. So let's jump into the results of the earnings and see how they did. So, going to their website, this is how their earnings did. Just going to read over some of the highlights on here. So it says total net revenue 153 million, an increase of 63% year over year. Check services revenue grew 57% year over year to 126 million, or 82% of net revenue compared to 86 in quarter two of 2019. Net income was 10.6 million. Non-GAAP net income was 49.4 million. Adjusted EBITDA was 55.5 million. 3.7 million and 3.5 million number of check subscribers, including and excluding Mathway, respectively, an increase of 67% and 58% year over year, respectively, and 375 million total check study content views. So this company definitely benefited from the whole quarantine, people, learning online, which, I think helped the rally later towards the end of the day. I think we'll have a continuation tomorrow, just a little bit, because these earnings were pretty good. I think people were expecting the earnings to be good on this one, just basically considering what's going on with the pandemic, and these numbers definitely show that was validated. 63% increase year over year. I think it's pretty good for any company. To report for total revenue. So, I expect them to continue to grow this, as schools and stuff start back up, as colleges start back up. I'm going to see that number increase as time goes on. Now that there's a certainty of, people going back to school, these numbers definitely reflected of uncertainty of people not knowing that they were going back to school. But I think now that they know people are going back to school, schools are opening back up, that these numbers will definitely grow. I think they'll have a strong quarter after that. So going to the next one, we got ticker sign CLX for Clorox. Moving average 10 is $230.60. Moving average 50 is $232.16. Moving average 100 is $230.38. And they ended the day at 231.96. So, not too bad. Definitely, above the moving average 50 line, definitely above the VWAP 14 line, but looks like they ended a little bit below the moving average 50 line and look to be on a little bit of a bearish pattern. Let's increase this chart. If you look towards the end of the day, there was a massive sell-off. A lot of people sold off towards the end of the day, but on the 30-minute chart, it looks like it was a little bit bullish. So, this may not directly reflect what's shown here, but, the fact that it's red and it's showing red definitely shows that it had a little bit of a sell-off towards the end of the day. But let's jump into the numbers and see how they performed during earnings. So going into a press release from them, just going to highlight some of the stuff on here. So the following fiscal fourth quarter results, following a summary of key fourth quarter results, all comparisons, our fourth quarter fiscal year 2019, 22% sales increase, 2.41 diluted EPS, 28% increase versus year ago quarter. So 21% increase. The company's fourth quarter gross margin increased 170 basis points to 46.8% from 45.1% a year ago quarter. The increase in gross margin, the seventh consecutive quarter of year-over-year gross margin expansion, reflects the benefit of volume growth, cost-saving initiatives, partially offset by higher manufacturing and logistics costs. So, reading down here, it says Clorox delivered earnings of 310 million or 2.41 diluted EPS compared to 241 million or 1.88 diluted EPS in the year ago quarter, representing 28% increase. So basically, they increased sales. The pandemic definitely helped that situation. They're definitely one of the companies benefiting from, you know, the whole pandemic going on. I think their numbers were expected to be good, but 22%, in my opinion, is a little bit low. I thought more people would have bought stuff from this company, but it may have been, an increase is an increase. But definitely, this was one of those that I knew was going to increase based on the products that they sell and what's going on. But definitely, good numbers overall for them. So jumping into my last one that I had on mine, ticker sign SPCE for Virgin Galactic Holdings Incorporated. If we look on here, it looks like they kind of rallied towards the end of the day, leading up towards earnings. So their moving average 10 is 23.54, moving average 50 is 22.96, and moving average 100 is 23.84. So it looks like they ended the day at 24.02, so they're above all their metrics. Looks to be trying to start a bullish pattern. Going up here, we can see that they crossed their moving average 50 line, and the moving average 10 line is quickly approaching the moving average 100 line. So, maybe the beginning of a bullish pattern towards the end of the day. It looks like a lot of people bought towards the end of the day as well. So volume was pretty high towards the end of the day. They ended above their moving average 100 line. So that's always a good sign. Bullish on them for that. But it shows afterwards it was 22, 23. So, it kind of fell down some after that. So, we'll see how it opens tomorrow and how it behaves. But jumping into some background on them, uh, they have some 2020 business highlights for second quarter. So it says complete first glide flight of VSS unit from Spaceport America, New Mexico. Completed second glide flight VSS Unity from Spaceport America, New Mexico, achieving a glide speed of Mach 0.85. Completed numerous structural and mechanical installations on second Spaceship Two vehicle. Completed over 75% of fabrication in the third Spaceship Two vehicle. Entered a Space Act agreement with NASA to facilitate the development of high-speed technologies. Entered into space agreement with NASA's Johnson Space Center to facilitate commercial participation in human orbital space flight to the International Space Station. So, if you know anything in the news, missions to the space station have been, a pretty big thing. I think the companies that mainly been benefiting from it have been Boeing and SpaceX. So those are the two that come to mind that have been benefiting from these space launches. But it seems like they're trying to get their hands into doing space. Flights to the International Space Station, and I think they definitely have the technology to do so. But when it comes to the stock, I think the financials themselves are struggling, just based on the fact that they don't really produce a product. So if you go to SpaceX, has produced a lot of things and have a lot of contracts that come in, but they actually have quite a bit of things to show for that, and is more of a popular name, in my opinion, as far as the things that they've done. Not downplaying Virgin Galactic. I think there are a lot of things that they have coming in the future. But as for profitability, and money burn, I think their money burn rate is definitely increasing at an alarming rate. So going to cash position remaining strong with the cash and cash equivalent of 360 million as of June 30, 2020. Net loss of 63 million compared to 60 million net loss in the first quarter. So they're still burning large amounts of money. GAAP selling, general and administrative expensive of 26 million compared to 27 million first quarter of 2020. Non-GAAP selling, general and administrative expenses of 23 million in the second quarter of 2020 compared to 23 million in the first quarter of 2020. GAAP research and development expenses of 37 million compared to 34 million in the first quarter of 2020. Non-GAAP research and development expenses of 35 million in the second quarter of 2020 compared to 33 million. Adjusted EBITDA totaled 54 million compared to 53 million in the first quarter of 2020. Cash paid for capital expenditures total 6 million compared to 4 million. So if you look at all of these numbers are just increasing amounts of money that they're spending. It's not unnecessary things, it's all necessary for, you know, the company, but their burn rate is pretty alarming in my opinion. And I like to see their ratio of contracts to burn rate kind of level itself off. So if they have really large contracts coming in and they have a really large burn rate, then it kind of levels itself out. But they don't really have too many large contracts coming in, but their burn rate is still at an alarming rate. So I'd like to see that decrease before I'm wholly invested into the company. Definitely like to see some more launches from them and their involvement into the actual launches to the space station. The whole space niche I think is a very interesting niche. Definitely want to look forward to and very profitable for those who are involved. So drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think of the earnings this week. Make sure you check out the community tab that have the rest of the earnings. I'm trying to do a video on the rest of the earnings this week as they come out. Tell me, what you all think of it. Drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.